Good morning, Lake Central. It's Mrs. Novak, and I'm here with
Mrs. Regan.
And we're here to talk to you about de-stressing. And what we're going to focus on today is having positive interactions throughout your day. So I hope all of you realize that one of my main priorities as your principal is to make this a very positive, happy environment for everyone to be in, whether you're a teacher, a staff member, a student, part of our administration team. I want this to be a happy, positive place for everyone to come to every day. So if you haven't noticed by now, I try to start every day with some sort of positive message, just to help you realize that you've got two choices. You can look on the positive side of things, or you can look on the negative side of things, and it's always best to focus on the positive. So Mrs. Regan and I are going to tell you what we do to make our day a little bit more positive and fun as we work together on many different things.
We laugh a lot. That's probably the biggest thing that gets us through our days. As I'm sure you probably can guess, some of our days can get pretty stressful. So we like to break things up whenever we can, and laugh. So whether it be a text that we'll send one another with maybe a meme or something in there, it always makes us laugh when we know the other person has received it, because we can hear the other person laughing through the office. So that always helps break up the day a little bit and some of the stress.
All right, so the next thing that Mrs. Regan and I do is we vent our frustrations. And it's always helpful for you guys as students. What I think is most beneficial for you is to have somebody, whether it's an adult, a student, or even a pet, just someone to share your frustrations with. And that's one of the ways that Mrs. Regan and I start our day. You probably notice us in Main Street or walking through the cafeteria. And we'll share our frustrations. It's things that are going on with being parents or in our own personal lives. But that's something that is very helpful. And once you talk about those frustrations and share them with somebody, it makes your mood a little bit better. It helps look on the positive side of things. So I encourage you guys, as students, as teachers, as everybody, find someone that you can vent those frustrations to and share those feelings and thoughts, and don't keep them bottled up inside, because once you're able to talk about that, that definitely helps elevate your mood a little bit.
Absolutely, and sometimes it's nice to know that you're not the only person going through something. So you might start to share something with your friend and found out that they have gone through something similar. So it definitely helps. But not only that, but you need to make sure that that's someone that you can rely on as well. So it's important to be that person for someone else too. So if they come to you and they need to vent or talk to you about something, please make sure that you're keeping that between you and that person. They need to know that they can trust you and rely on you. And I think that's definitely something that Mrs. Novak and I have.
Absolutely. So relying on somebody, having someone that's just going to be there for you, it's huge. Even as adults, to have someone to confide in and share those thoughts and feelings, it's very helpful. And I'm very thankful not only to have Mrs. Regan, but other coworkers that I'm able to talk to as well. And it's a very healthy, positive thing to do as you guys grow older and mature and take on more adult responsibilities.
Yes. A couple of the other things that we do, sometimes we'll surprise each other with just, little treats here or there. We'll pick up coffee for one another, or she's great at making homemade popcorn, so sometimes she'll surprise me with that, which is amazing. But just doing some of those little things sometimes, and it doesn't have to cost anything. It might just be a nice note, to that person, to let them know that you're thinking about them and, you're there for them if they need anything.
Right. And Mrs. Regan's really great about bringing some coffee in the morning. She's given me cards before. If you guys don't know this, I'm in school myself as well, working on some graduate coursework. And Mrs. Regan has always been a big cheerleader of mine, saying, it's almost over, you can do it. She's left me notes. And that's really important to do for your friends. So if you see that one of your friends is maybe struggling or needs a little boost of confidence or just someone in their corner to cheer them on, doing something like that is very beneficial. And I'm always thankful to have that coming from Mrs. Regan.
Well, I'm definitely thankful to have a friend in Mrs. Novak. When I first started down here in the office, I really didn't know anybody. So we became fast friends, and she's been someone who's been a mentor to me throughout the years and someone I have relied on and has been a positive influence on me. So I'm very appreciative of her and thankful to have her in my life, and she's become a very good friend of mine.
So our advice to you is to smile, to laugh. Like I said in the beginning, you've got two ways of looking at things. You can focus on how hard something is, how difficult something is, or you can focus on the positives. Choose to think positively. I hope I try to encourage you all to do that every day.